Here's Daisy modeling her new high visibility vest that she's going to be wearing while she's out in the woods during hunting season. I've made it from remnant fabrics from a fly sheet that I made for my pony. Here I have Daisy helping me decide how it should look when it's finished. Now that we know how we want it to look, I have chalk and I'm going to draw a line where I need to cut the fabric so that it best fits Daisy. Daisy's making sure that I'm doing it correctly and where she wants it. There. I think we agree. This is how it's going to look. Here I cut straight across the chalk line that Daisy and I drew. I have a rectangle piece of no-seam fly mesh. This is orange, green, and black camouflage. It's very lightweight, but it doesn't fray. It doesn't need seams, but I'm going to put edges on it just to add a little weight to it and keep it down. And that'll be flying off Daisy like a Superman's cape, and I don't want that. Here I folded over a strip of the same mesh. I finger crease it down the center, and I'm covering the edge of one side of the vest just to add weight to it so it's not flying about, and to add a little extra on the edges. My dog will be wearing this out in the woods where she's going to run through branches and briars, swamps and puddles, whatever else she can get into. I'm going to use the widest and the longest zigzag stitch that my sewing machine has. It's a sturdy stitch. It's a bold looking stitch. I like the way it looks on the camouflage vest. I thought it would be best to just speed through the sewing, as I'm sure you already know how to sew fabric. This is how I want the side to look. I'm going to do the same for the other side. I'm pressing this on a cool iron. That's on my lowest setting. The iron is on the lowest setting I've got. You don't have to press it. I think it might be easier to sew it once it's been pressed. If it's too hot, you'll melt your ribbon. I'm going to fold the edges under any. And do the same on this end. Okay. Like this. Fold it over. Fold it. Take the fabric. Fold it over. Now that I've pressed the grouse grain ribbon into half, the long Y, and I've seared the edges, I'm sandwiching it over the front of the vest and sewing it again with the largest zigzag stitch that my sewing machine has. This adds a little weight to the vest, and it'll reinforce the edge when I put the breast strap on. I finished the body of the vest. Now I'm fitting it on Daisy to measure the breast strap. I'm going to hold it to the sides where it will need to be sewn on. And I'm going to mark it with chalk, which is buried deep in my pocket. Just school chalk. Found it somewhere. I'll put the elastic on that so it'll stretch some. Goodness, the smell of food. I'll cut this out right there. I would make things longer than I need to, so. Make sure you can see your chalk marks. Now I finished marking the strap to the vest with chalk. I slide it over her head to be sure that that is not too tight. And I will cut the webbing. And of course she's been a very good model. Here I am sewing the breast strap perpendicular to the edge, the front edge of the vest. I'm just going to sew a simple square and finish where I start. I'm still using the zigzag stitch. It's not going to show on the orange webbing very much, but it's still a very sturdy stitch to use. There's nothing else underneath it. This one. And then I flip the vest around and I'm sewing on the other side of the breast strap. Okay, this is our last fitting. I'm going to put the vest on Daisy, and it fits the way I hoped it would. And I'm going to fold the vest underneath her belly and draw a chalk line. And that's where I'm going to sew the elastics. But I'm going to sew it on the inside of the vest. I cut 2 pieces of 2-inch wide black elastic and sewed one elastic to the inside of the vest, starting behind the front leg. Still using the zigzag stitch in a box pattern, back tacking at the start and the finish.
That sounds like a dog outside now. Oh, it doesn't want to be dog.
I sewed a 2-inch square of hook tape to the outside of the free end of the elastic. Again, using the zigzag stitch, I sewed in a box pattern. Here, I've sewed the matching 2-inch square loop tape to the inside of the vest, behind the front right leg. The elastic is on the inside of the vest and out of sight except for the zigzag stitching that shows through a little bit on the pattern, on the material. I sewed the second piece of 2-inch wide elastic a couple inches behind the first at the chalk lines that I made, in the same manner as I had sewed the front elastic, hook and loop tapes to the vest.